Megan with Triangle Pond Management. Thanks for joining us for this segment of Smarter in 5 Minutes. Today we're going to be tagging along with one of our technicians to show you what an average maintenance visit looks like for stormwater systems. Let's get started. Regardless of the type of SCM that you have, each maintenance visit starts out with the same few tasks. Garbage pickup from in and around the system, checking for deficiencies such as cracks or leaks in the riser, bare areas, or sediment accumulation, and taking photos of all of the components of the system, like the inlet, an overall view, the weir, the outlet, things like that. Most stormwater systems have riprap areas either in their outlets, inlets, or their emergency spillways. This riprap needs to be kept clear of debris and vegetation so that water can flow freely through it and not get blocked up. So when we come to do a maintenance visit, we'll clear all the debris. We use a blower to blow out all of the leaves, and we'll use EPA approved herbicides to treat any grass or other vegetation that's growing within the rocks. Invasive vegetation and algae can clog the drain orifice, choke out beneficial plants, and just look downright unappealing. To combat this, our technicians use EPA-approved herbicides and algicides in and around the pond to keep those beneficial species flourishing. As the first point of exit for water from the system, it's critical to keep the riser clear and flowing properly. The technician will go and check the low flow orifice to make sure that it's unobstructed. If it is blocked, they'll work to clear the obstruction so that the water can continue to flow freely and return the pool to its normal level. The trash rack on top also needs to be kept clear of debris, so they'll remove anything that's built up on top of that after a heavy storm. Twice a year, generally in the spring and fall, our technicians will exercise the drain valve. That's that handle with the wheel on top there. The drain valve is used to completely drain the pond in the event of significant flooding where it's completely filled, or if a large repair is needed, like dredging, where they need to bring the water level way down. Since these events aren't very common, the drain valve can actually become rusted from disuse. So we open it twice a year to make sure that it keeps it moving and not rusted shut. We also offer mowing as an optional service for our contracts. When our crews come out to mow, they cut the entire footprint of the system from the top of the slopes down to the vegetated shelf, or in the case of a dry pond, they cut the entire basin. They'll also cut the top of the dam as well as the back side of the dam down to the toe where the slope meets flat ground. In some jurisdictions, such as Durham, they'll even go 7 foot past the toe of the dam per those jurisdictions' regulations. Our mower decks are set to 4 to 6 inches. That's because the grass around stormwater systems is not meant to look like a manicured lawn. To help with erosion control, the grass must be kept to a height of 4 inches or higher, and in between mows, it's permittable for it to grow between 12 and 18 inches. Here at Triangle Pond, we offer monthly and every other month mow contracts, depending on the rate at which the vegetation at your site grows and on the preferences of the owners. In some cases, non-toxic blue and black dye can be added to stormwater ponds. Not only does it increase the aesthetic appeal of the pond, but it also acts as a sort of sunblock to deter the growth of algae. Note that it can't be applied everywhere though. In some jurisdictions, for example the city of Durham, you're not allowed to apply dye to stormwater ponds. The dye gets poured in the inlet so that over time as water enters the system, the dye spreads evenly throughout. Burrowing animals such as muskrats, otters, or beavers can cause a lot of detriment to the shorelines and the dams of stormwater systems. So our technicians keep a sharp eye out for any signs of animal holes being dug around the system so that we can catch it, monitor it, and if it becomes a real issue, take care of it then. The maintenance visit isn't over once the pond is done being serviced. Our technicians then write a detailed maintenance report noting all of the things that they did, as well as any deficiencies that they think need to be monitored or repaired. And there you go. That's what you can generally expect from a regular maintenance visit. Keep in mind that we were here at a wet pond, and maintenance will vary slightly depending on what type of SCM you have. A bioretention will require slightly different maintenance than a dry pond than a wet pond. Regardless of what type of SCM you have though, you can be sure that you'll be receiving top quality service when you hire Triangle Pond Management. See you next time, guys.